The statement from the Boy Scouts of America's National Executive Board says in part, troops affiliated with religious organizations may continue to use religious beliefs as criteria for selecting adult leaders, including matters of sexuality. KPBS contacted several local religious affiliated Boy Scout troops for this interview. None responded. Joining me with more on the policy change are my guest, Eagle Scout Chance Kawar, now a college student who supports gay Scout leaders, and Howard Menzer, former Scout leader and now president of the group Scouting for All. And Howard, what is your reaction to the decision to lift the ban on gay leaders in the Boy Scouts?
I'm elated. 3 weeks before Dr. Gates made his announcement, I sent him a letter in part saying, you take a young man, a young boy, into Tiger Cubs, bring him into Cub Scouts, teach him, bring him across the bridge into Boy Scouts, teach him leadership and skills and teaching and all this stuff. And here he is at 17 earning his Eagle Award, and you say, okay, kid, here's your badge, now get out. What a waste of energy and resources that would enrich Scouting.
And it appears they took that to heart. They made the decision. Chance, this exemption that allows for religious affiliated troops to still ban people who are gay being Boy Scout leaders, does it undermine the victory for equality?
I think so, yeah. Like Howard, I was very excited last week when I found out that the Boy Scouts was changing their policy. And I think this is, without question, a huge step forward for the organization. But I do think it's a partial victory. Allowing discrimination to continue in some troops creates a sort of patchwork policy that's still sending a mixed message to the youth of the organization that you're not valued as much as other Scouts. And so I don't think that that's acceptable. And while I appreciate that the policy is moving in the right direction, there's still work to be done.
And Howard, what have you heard from local Boy Scout affiliate chapters that about the ban being lifted?
Everybody I've spoken to is very happy with it. The way it went to now is the way it was in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. The chartering organization decided the makeup of the troop, so that if a church, a priest decided he only wanted kids from his parish, or if he decided he only wanted blue-eyed kids, it was okay, so long as they ran the Scouting program. But there had to be enough open and accepting charter organizations to accept everybody. You can't just take a church and say, change your policy, guys. They're obligated to the Pope, not to the Boy Scouts of America.
I see. Now, Chance, let me ask you this. What did Scouting do for your life? You were an Eagle Scout that actually inspired you to keep up the fight for this organization to lift the ban.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in the organization just about as long as I can remember. I was saying earlier that I remember the first Cub Scout meeting that I went to with my dad when I was in first grade. And it's always been a very special organization for me because it taught me, it built my character, it taught me the morals and values that I think have made me into the young individual that I am today. And I think part of that is the Scout law. It teaches us to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And so I try to embody those values in everything I do. And part of that means standing up for justice and equality in all parts of life.
All right. And Howard, we have to end this very shortly, but I want to ask, would you be willing to go back, or do you want to go back to the Scouts now that the ban has been lifted?
I've already been speaking to a crew, and I've already been speaking to a Scout troop about coming back.
All right. Good to hear. Howard Menzer and Chance Kawar, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.